Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Breakthrough, a journey of how to start your very own business. This program in collaboration is a virtual entrepreneurial training program of the NIC and the Allen County Public Library. My name is Julie Sanchez, and I am the Breakthrough Program Manager for the NIC, the Northeast Indiana Innovation Center here in Fort Wayne. The NIC Breakthrough Program will show you how to start your very own business from idea to launch. It's offered at no charge, and we are currently still accepting applications. I'm here today with my wonderful co-host from the Allen County Public Library, Craig Bailey, who is the senior librarian, and Dijia, who is the manager of business and technology. Craig?
Yes, welcome everybody. Just to make everyone aware, we are recording today, and in order to improve the quality of everyone's listening experience, we've muted your microphones. So if you have a question or a comment, just feel free to use the chat function at the bottom of the page, at the bottom of the screen there, and Dee is monitoring that, and we'll facilitate conversation as we go. And if we want further participation, we will totally unmute you or have you unmute yourself. So, and now back to Julie.
Thank you, Craig. Well, hello, everyone. And today we're going to talk about funding basics for your business. So in the life of your business, funding or obtaining money, or some people call it financing, it will be necessary. Why will it be necessary? Because there are real costs to starting a business. For instance, if you produce something, there will be the cost for the equipment to produce it and the materials it takes to make it. And that's just to name a few things. If your business is a service like mine, there's still costs. There's startup costs like purchasing a computer and printer and registering your business and paying for your web page and purchasing your subscription for your accounting services. And it goes on and on and on. The bottom line we want you to understand today is that it takes money to start a business.
Okay, so I'm going to act as if I'm starting a business. I'm an entrepreneur. I've done all this stuff we've talked about through the breakthrough. I've identified that I am an entrepreneur, that I have a marketable skill set. I've done market research for local and regional opportunities, and I've written a business plan. So now you're saying I need to get some money to start up, for some startup capital. Where am I going to get money, Julie?
Well, a lot of people, like, I wrote that business plan and I'm done. Well, no, you're not done. You just begun. And at the end of your business plan, you will actually identify the costs that you believe it will take to start your business, and then you're off and running. So where can funds come from? Where? Well, a lot of the funds come from, you guessed it, you. It can come from your savings, and it can come from others. So it doesn't always have to come from you. It could come from outside sources like your family members, friends, investors, or maybe from loans.
All right. So what if I don't have any savings? What are some of my other options?
Well, believe it or not everybody has savings. And in those cases, might sound like a shocker, but your credit card is a viable tool. And many small businesses start with a credit card. So that could be an option. If I would explain it a little bit more, like for friends and families, you could go to people who believe in you. They could either lend you the money or they could give you the money. There's investors that you could get money from. They may see the value in your business through your business plan, and they could give you some money, but it's a cost. Whenever you have an outside investor, you need to understand that it's an exchange for something. It's exchange for ownership, so that means that you kind of have a boss, somebody that you're answering to, or potentially it's just an exchange for equity, but they plan for you to buy them out probably at a higher rate of return once you do get successful. And then what most people know is just a lender. And a lender, we mean a bank. So when you go to the bank, but here's some funding basics. When you go to the bank, understand that they are in a business. They're a business too, and they're in the business of lending money. So they make money through the fee that they charge on their loans, and that's called the interest rate.
Okay, so let's say I'm thinking about going to a bank. What am I going to need to take? What preparations can I make
A good question, Craig. So if you are considering going to a bank, getting a bank loan, again, understand that banks are a business too, just like you as entrepreneurs, and they're in the business of lending money, meaning they don't make money unless their loans are repaid. So because of this, they rely on a few tools to give them confidence that you will be a customer who will repay the loan. The first thing is credit history. So your credit history is your history of repaying credit. Credit is a word that means your debt. It could be your credit cards, your bills, loans, etc. So the thought is if you've repaid your obligations in the past in a timely manner, your lenders will have greater confidence that given the resources, you will repay them as well. Now, inversely, if you have poor credit history, it's going to decrease the lender's confidence that you can or even will repay them. Sometimes I get asked this question, Ms. Sanchez, I'm thinking about filing a bankruptcy and then I want to start my own business. If I do that, can I still get a loan? Now, I'm not going to give you a hard no. I'm probably just going to give you a soft yes. Like, it's going to make it harder for you to get a business loan. Doesn't mean you can't. I've seen it happen if you've had a prior bankruptcy. It's the rationale that a bankruptcy says that other entities that you have lent money to in the past took a loss that hurt their business. Best advice, if you want to start a business, this is just real talk, repay your debts and don't file bankruptcy.
All right. Well, let's say I have a strong credit history. I've also got this, so that's maybe not a problem, but I also have this business plan. But is that really important, or is that just more for me or my business?
Did you say is a business plan important, Craig? What have I taught you? Oh my goodness. Yes, a business plan is very important. It not only provides a solid foundation upon which to build your business, but it gives lenders, again, a greater sense of confidence that your business can be successful. And if your business is successful, then that means that you will be able to
repay the money that you borrowed, right?
Repay the money that they have lent to you. At the end of the day, lenders just want to be repaid.
Okay, so are you saying if I have a strong credit history and a great business plan, that I'm guaranteed bank financing? They're totally going to lend me money?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, Craig, is that it will help. That's all I'm saying. If you have a strong business plan and if you have a great credit history, all of that will go to increasing confidence from lenders and investors that you're going to be successful. You have the greatest percentage of being successful the greater percentage that you can repay the loan. But when you start your business, the reality is it's the riskiest time in your business cycle is when you start in the life of your business. Banks know that, lenders know that. And some of them, not all, but some of them have stricter qualifications for startups. You're like, why? I need it the most. But at that time, your business is the riskiest. And some are even hesitant to lend to startup businesses in the beginning phase of their lives. Many will with a good business plan, but sometimes others won't.
Okay, so I've been to see a loan officer and they were talking about collateral. How does collateral, what does that have to do with lenders getting repaid?
Yeah, that seems like a big word, collateral. Collateral means something like an asset. I'm going to do this. Like it's a real thing, like something physical that you pledge. A pledge means you promise to the lender, and you promise it for the security or repayment of the loan. So since lenders don't make money unless they are repaid, they can require you to have collateral in the amount of the loan. I'll give you an example. So if you ask for a loan for $20,000 to purchase a piece of equipment, a real thing, they can ask for you to allow them to put a lien on either that piece of equipment or another piece of equipment that you own that has a value of the $20,000 or greater. They do that because if in default, meaning for some reason you can't pay it back, they then have the right to take this possession or asset that you promised and pledged them as collateral and liquidate it. When we say liquidate, it's just a big word that means turn something into cash. So if they need to turn this into cash, lenders liquidate it by selling it. They'd sell this, they'd liquidate it, and they get cash for it. And once they receive the cash from your collateral, they would apply it to your loan so they could get repaid. Repaid.
All right. So they might liquidate assets. All right. Okay. Well, but I've been in and I've gotten a personal loan. Shouldn't I be able to just go in and get a commercial loan at a bank?
No, it's not that simple, Craig. There is a big difference. A lot of people have the experience of personal loans, and so they think, okay, personal loan, commercial loan, I've done pretty good by that. It's all the same thing. Two different animals. So when you're talking about a personal loan or when you receive personal financing, a lot of times you can do that by just making a phone call. Like you can go and let's say you want a credit card, you call the bank up and sometimes just do it on the telephone and call and apply for it. And if your credit score is high enough, you can get that credit card. Sometimes you can even do that for personal loans. They just look at your credit history and say, you're good, get that personal loan. It does not work like that in the world of business. When they say business, they mean commercial. It's the same word, business lending, commercial lending. So if you want traditional commercial financing, you are going to need to invest a part of your own money in that request. I'll give you an example. If you need a loan for $100,000 for your business, if it gets approved, you're like, oh, yes, but you don't get a check for $100,000 back. Let's say you bought an asset, cost you $100,000, or it will cost you. You're getting the loan so you can purchase it, $100,000. You always have to invest some of your money in a commercial business. And it's usually 20%, and sometimes more if you're a startup, but usually say 20% of the money. So what does that mean? I need to go purchase this. It's $100,000. I'm going to have to write a check for 20%, $20,000, show that I paid it against that. And then the bank will lend you the balance of that. So when you get approved for $100,000, you're getting a check for that amount minus your investment. So you're getting a check for $80,000 in that case to go against that. So what I'm trying to say in this short time is when you invest in your own business, it gives the lenders greater confidence that you are serious and will work harder than because you have your money into it to repay the loan.
All right. Well, I've been involved with some nonprofits and they seem to get money sometimes through grants. Is that something that's available to me for a for-profit business?
Before COVID, I would have to say no, I don't think so. But after last year, I've seen the SBA, but we were in a pandemic and the economy took a hit. I have seen business grants. I have seen them. We've received some here from Wells Fargo for small businesses. So I would say normally you don't receive grants. Grants means money that you receive that you don't have to pay back. There's no obligation to pay back. That's what a grant is. So for-profit businesses or your businesses are primarily funded either by yourself or outside sources such as banks, investors, but they're not usually funded by grants. No matter what you hear, that hasn't been the norm. And I believe this is just because while it's great for the economy, to have small businesses and businesses in general, be healthy and business own, and they understand that business people need it. The business owners, they're not restricted in how they spend their money. That's their money. When you get into business, it has your name in it. You're not a not-for-profit. You're for-profit. You could choose to invest your money back in your company. You could choose to go on vacation around the world. I mean, it's your money. And you have the right to do whatever. You can increase your salary to the extent of the profit that you have. It's your money. You reward yourself whatever way you want to. Not-for-profits are different. They exist to do community work or a public service for public good. They're not selling goods. They don't have this normal stream of income. And a lot of times they're helping people who can't help themselves. So the overall community deems this good work, necessary work. And so they're like, that's why you have foundations, give organization grants. They're like, they can't do it on their own, but somebody needs to be doing this, and they'll give them a grant of money, doesn't have to be repaid. Another difference is like the owners of these not-for-profits. A lot of times they have restricted income and salaries. If they got $1 million came in through a gift, they can't be like, time to increase my salary. No, their salary is set by a board of directors, and the board of directors can determine their salary. And so it's limited. And because of that, it's all necessary, but normally not-for-profits receive grants and for-profits receive loans.
All right. Well, this is a lot, but I am crystal clear that to start a business, I am going to need money. And I've been to the library, what do you know? And I've picked up a couple of things. Here we have a book about business loans from family and friends, how to maybe go about that if you're looking for startup capital. We've got investors in your backyard if you're looking for investors. And we've got some other books and things that'll tell you about bank loans and personal finance and things. But Julie, you're the expert. What are some possible financing opportunities for me as a startup here in Allen County?
Well, Craig, I'm glad you asked. I know I gave you some of the for real type of talk about the challenges of starting your business, but we do have a great community here in Fort Wayne, and there are some opportunities for financing money to start a business. And one of those is called KIVA. It's KIVA. And it's a loan program here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's really relatively new being here. And I work, I have my own company, but I subcontract out to the NIC. And they have a KIVA official hub located on site at the NIC. So what does this mean? KIVA will allow you to receive a loan, and you can get a loan as low as $400. I mean, $500, $200. You can get a very low loan, and I think they go up to $10,000, $10,000 or $15,000 that you can ask for a loan. No interest. You don't have to have a good credit history. You don't have to have a official business plan. You do have to write up something. You have to have a really good story because it's crowdsourced, meaning a lot of people there want to know like why. They're into the why. So they want to donate money for you to help you be successful. And they have different reasons why. Sometimes, it's just different reasons. And so you don't have to have all of those things. And they have somebody on site to help you through that and help you write that story. They know what it takes. I think of all of the people that applied at NIC, I think they have all received financing. So that's good to know. So that is one really good new thing that's come to our community area that I would say for people to do. But there's other things. I mean, there's the bank. You can still go to the bank. Just because I, said some sobering things, it doesn't mean that other banks will not take your business plan and do give you a loan. But I just wanted to let you know, in case you went to a bank and they did not accept your loan, to not be discouraged. There's a reason behind that. And really, you could just go shop at another bank. But I just wanted you to understand this. People aren't saying, oh, I don't want to help you. There's reasons behind that. So you go to a bank, you can go to the city of Fort Wayne. They have Community Development Corporation. It's called the CDC, and we're going to list those for you. What the CDC does is it's another bank, and you can apply. They will require, I used to work at the CDC, they will require a business plan, but you can get a loan. And where I told you that 20% down, that is correct. But if you go to some agencies like the CDC, they would only require 10% down. And maybe if you got a loan through there, instead of being 12%, because you're risky, it's only 5%. So low interest rates for you and longer terms to pay it out to make it affordable. So that's the CDC. The Small Business Administration, they're one of those places now that you could actually get a grant if you were in business and you could show COVID, your business declined because of COVID. There are grants out there right now to assist business owners, but they also have low interest loans or low payment instead of that 20% down. If you went through the SBA, you could potentially get a loan for only 10% down. So out of that 100,000, you would only have to put, instead of the 20,000, you'd only have to put 10,000. If you wanted $10,000 instead of $2,000 down, you'd only have to put $1,000 down. So there are places, I kind of started with the big ones, but there are places that are really good and really known for working for small businesses, even in the startup phase. And there are others as well, but those are some good ones for you to at least start with when you're looking for financing. Craig?
Well, thank you so much, Julie. That is super helpful. And Dee is monitoring the chat. If anyone has questions, go ahead and put them in there, and we're going to pop up a screen with the resources we were talking about. So if any of those sounded interesting, these are links you can go to. And so we're looking at the chat. Does anyone have any questions for Julie? And Dee, is there anything you would like to say?
Hello, good evening, everyone. So now it's the wonderful time for you to raise a question to us. At the same time, we're providing the list of resources that Julie and Craig talked about earlier. As you can see, there is Kiva, there's a City of Fort Wayne business support. And if you have any questions on this collateral, there's explanation from the Investpedia, and also there's a NIC breakthrough program. If you are not registered, haven't registered yet, this is where you can go. And here is the Allen County Public Library's homepage, and we have resources for business information and books as well. And if you have any other further questions, we are gonna have, this is the contact information from both Allen County Public Library and NIC. If you
and Dee, I did see a question there.
We do?
Yeah, there was a question, if I looked at it right, that said, what funding is available in Indianapolis?
Oh, I haven't seen that. Okay. Julie, are
Somebody,
you able to answer that?
That did that, give me a thumbs up.
Okay.
And so is there funding in Indianapolis? Oh yeah, there's lots of funding, like the SBA, Small Business Administration, that's statewide. So you can work with any banker. You can just go to the Small Business Administration site and they will direct you how to do that. So definitely the SBA loans, they all work in coordination with the lenders in that city. So yes, you definitely can do the SBA loans. The CDC is for the Fort Wayne area, but I know with Indianapolis, I do a lot with, what is it called? I have somebody calling in from Isha Smith. I just want to know if we might want to just check and make sure that she was able to get in. I don't know. It's normally, but anyway, so when you talk about, oh my goodness, funding at Indianapolis, the Indiana Black Expo, if you go there, they have all sorts of great information about how to start a business. It's all free. Go to their website. It doesn't, you wouldn't think like Indiana Black Expo, but they have a strong financing area. That's how I found out about the $5,000 grants that was given here in Fort Wayne through Wells Fargo. It started up through the Indiana Black Expo in Indianapolis, and they do a superb job of letting you know what types of loans and grants. I think up in Indy, they probably have more grants than anything, way more than we have in Fort Wayne. So you just need to check it out. There's another link in there that Dee showed beforehand. It said, Hello Alice. Hello Alice is for minorities grants, I believe minority and women. And I was on there last time, and it's easy to find like a $10,000 grant. Like they're doing grants from corporate companies that want to support minorities and things. So Hello Alice, that is a link that she had up there. I don't know. Can you click on that? I don't know if that is it a PDF on the Hello Alice.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop. Okay, so I'm gonna stop.
Okay. If not, I don't want to stop. But I'm like, Hello Alice. I've never seen anything like that. Like when I was telling you, I've been a lender. I used to work at Community Development Corporation, City of Fort Wayne, for a few years, and so we would tell people, no, there are no such thing as grants. But Hello Alice has grants all the time. Like I've been saying, like grants all over the place for you just have to keep your eye on it. So I would go there, sign up for the email, and see what you can do. So yes, Indianapolis has probably a lot more than Fort Wayne has. Just got to get to the right place and ask. So Indiana Black Expo is a great place to start, and I'm sure that they have any chamber. They're really sophisticated, and you could get a lot of great financing. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Julie, for the further information. That's really great that we know that there are things that's available for people to check out. And again, if you have any other further question, when you can think of, you can always reach out to either Highland County Public Library. Both Craig and I work at the Business Science and Technology Department. We probably will be the first one to get your call if you call the number 260-421-1200, or if you prefer, you can drop us a line. It's ask@acpl.info. That's monitored like as long as we are open. And if you prefer to reach out to the Nick, and Julie is always available. Her number is 260-227-3108. So let me check again. And I don't see anything else in the chat box. So I think it's pretty much a good time for us to wrap up. So thank you again, Julie and Craig, for the great information for the funding resources. And again, for all of you who joined us tonight. And don't forget that our last one is going to be on September 21st. That is a Tuesday. And that's going to be the last one in the series. And we're going to wrap up all the information and resources that we talked about and give you further directions on, if you decided to register a business. Okay, I hope that we could see you next time. Thank you again and good evening. Bye-bye.